All right, guys, today we're looking at our third complement. We've studied predicate nominatives already. As you know, predicate nominatives follow linking verbs and rename the subject. And we've also studied our direct objects, which follow action verbs. Now we're gonna go into our third complement, which will be indirect objects, okay? Several things about indirect objects. Indirect objects are going to come before. So an indirect object is a noun or pronoun that precedes the direct object. That means it comes before the direct object. And because it comes before the direct object, that means in the sentence there's an action verb, okay? If there's not, well, we'll go over more of that later. So an indirect object is a noun or pronoun that precedes the direct object. Now remember, the direct object answers whom or what. The indirect object answers to whom or for whom or to what or for what the action of the verb is done. Okay, that's all the information on page 153. You can follow along as you watch the video. Okay, everything that's on the board is being taken from the book, so make sure you follow along. So let's go to our first example. Lisa took Mary the gift. Okay, so Lisa is our subject, took is our action verb. Because it is an action verb, we're going to be looking for a direct object first. Before you go into looking for the indirect object, you need to find the direct object first. Because if there isn't a direct object, there won't be an indirect object, okay? So Lisa took, and we have our questions whom or what. So Lisa took what? Lisa took gift, okay? So gift is the direct object, okay? Now, because there is a direct object, now we can look for an indirect object. So now we ask the question, to whom or for whom, or to what or for what? In this case, to whom. So Lisa took gift to whom? To Mary. Okay, so Mary becomes our indirect object because it answers the question to whom. All right, here's another example. Lisa brought Mary's gift. Lisa is the subject, brought the action verb. So Lisa brought what? So that answers, we can answer the question what? Lisa brought gift. So we have a direct object, okay? Because we have a direct object, we can now look for an indirect object. So let's see. So Lisa brought, and we have our questions that we can ask. Lisa brought what? Brought gift. So to whom or for whom? Mary's. Mary's is a possessive noun. Mary's doesn't tell us to whom or for whom. It implies that it's Mary's gift, but it doesn't answer the question to whom or for whom. Also, if you read the rule, possessive nouns cannot be indirect objects, okay? Possessive nouns are made by the apostrophe S, okay? So when you see that, that is not going to be an indirect object. So in this sentence, there is no indirect object, okay? So it's important to follow those steps. First, check, is the verb action or linking? If it's action, then there can be a direct object. If there's a direct object, there can be an indirect object. There's no point in looking for an indirect object in a sentence that has a linking verb, because in that case you are looking for a predicate nominative. You're looking for a word that renames the subject, okay? So let's go on to the next part. Will bought his dad a tie. So Will is the subject, bought is the action verb. So first we're gonna look for the direct object. Will bought what? Will bought a tie, okay? So we've got our direct object. So now we can look for an indirect object. Will bought tie, Will bought what? He bought a tie. To who or for whom? For his dad. And that's the indirect object. I'll write it down here. Indirect object. All right. And now let's do this next one. Will bought a tie for his dad. Will is the subject. Bought is the verb. So Will bought what? Bought a tie. But in this case, now we run into a preposition. And again, the same rules apply as the predicate nominative and the direct object. A word inside a prepositional phrase cannot be a direct object, indirect object, or predicate nominative, okay? Because this for is a preposition, okay? You should have a list of your prepositions with you. And this forms, the preposition with its nouns forms a prepositional phrase. This word here is the object of a preposition, and you guys have studied that in the pages ahead. But for now, all you need to focus on is the fact that the noun inside a prepositional phrase cannot be an indirect object, a direct object, or a predicate nominative, okay? So in this case, will, bought, tie, it does, the sentence does have a direct object, but there's no indirect object, okay? And last but not least, the waitress brought Andrew and Ethan their steaks, okay? So waitress is the subject, put one line. Brought is the action verb, so waitress brought what? She brought steaks. Steaks is the direct object, okay? To whom or for whom? Well, they were brought to Andrew and Ethan, okay? So the indirect object answers the question to whom or for whom, and there's two, okay? So this is a compound indirect object. And we're gonna have fun diagramming those. In the next video, I'm gonna go ahead and do the work with you for problems 1 through 10, just to make sure that you have the right subject, verbs, and complements marked. And then we're gonna go ahead and diagram them in the third video. So there's gonna be 3 videos, all right? Thanks for watching, guys.